But no time for the sting. No time for the sting.
I like the sting.
You like the sting.
I do. I said I like the sting. Makes a jerk. Guys, the map is...
You know what this map's called?
Tell me.
Bel'shir Vestige.
Nice. In the top left-hand corner, it is our Zerg down 1 game to nothing. Needs to win to continue to give his life to birth him into a finals by chance. It is the Red Zerg SSJ4 Game of Drones.
And spawning as his opponent as, once again, the perfect pink Zerg. I keep doing that, don't I? Perfect pink Protoss. It is jayrawr.
jayrawr doing the proxy gateways last time. Will he do something similar this time? No, actually does have the pylon in what would be a forge fast expand position, so is tipping his hand to more of a macro game. And here comes the probe to scout and check the timings of his opponent. Actually now opting to sit behind the mineral line, perhaps looking to do some cannon play once that drone does come and build a hatch.
Exactly, and that's, you know, that's some sneaky play going on there. Actually, but pretty standard for a Protoss at least. This Overlord, though, will be able to see exactly what's happening. Floating the second Overlord over your potential natural is actually a very smart thing to do. Gives you that vision that the hatchery usually just lacks. We see for our Protoss player, though, just going to be getting those minerals up out of 15, going down to the front of his base. Going to be dropping a forge and getting that forge fast expand with this probe scout going into the base. He will be able to see the spawning pool. Definitely pretty standard pool there, so not going to be afraid of any sort of crazy shenanigans, and at seeing that is going to be dropping that Nexus first.
But with the spawning pool already in production, this looks a little dangerous, especially considering the wide girth of this entrance point. It'll take a massive number of buildings in order to completely wall that off. This map definitely seems to favor Zergs in that there is a large channel with which you can bring your forces through, and so many buildings need to be built, so much SimCity required in order to block off this entire
He's going to at least require 2 more gateways to block this off. Probably going to be dropping 1 now, and then just keeping this probe there just in case Zerglings do come. You can drop a gateway instantly. Not just going to skimp on that cannon until that forge is done. And see, yeah, you're right, it's a huge gap there. Overlord scouting sees that this gap is happening, and we'll see if any more Zerglings are produced. Only 2 at the moment right now, so that's not going to do too much. But will give him the advantage of being able to take the 2 watchtowers in the middle of the map.
I feel he did have an opportunity to exploit that wide choke at the front of the base. Could have came in with some aggression, could have forced some buildings that his opponent didn't want to build and then have to cancel them, even producing a small amount of mineral loss. Meanwhile, he is getting his 3rd hatch and driving away this probe with 2 lings that were produced for scouting and map control purposes.
Yep.
1 cannon going up at the front of the Protoss base, so now he should feel a little more safer, and once he gets his cyber core up, he will have his wall off that he desires.
Exactly, totally safe right now. Gonna be Zerg's not going to be able to get through this wall at any time, even though 4 more lanes have been produced. He's going to use that to do a sort of a little bit of a soft contain and just understand when the Protoss is going to be moving out. Once the Cyber Core is done and the double gas has been dropped already, we're going to see what sort of builds that jayrawr is going to be pulling out. In the previous games I saw, you saw jayrawr play. What was he trying to go for usually?
He looked like he was favoring Sentry Immortal type play, but he did also heavily produce Stalkers, perhaps in a blind counter to what mutas might come, and they served them well in most instances, so I do expect him to stay similar and true to this path. I do expect to see a lot of Stalkers come out for him, very few Sentries, and perhaps 1 or 2 Immortals.
There used to be something here.
What was there?
Because if you check from our vision of our Protoss player over here, he thinks there's a hatchery.
Indeed, so he probably feels that there won't be any forthcoming, and now there's 8lings in production. Baneling Nest is going to be finished. This is going to be a bust timing, so he's going to take advantage of the fact that his opponent thinks he's still econing up. As soon as this Baneling Nest finishes, you should see a ton of Zerglings getting the Baneling upgrade, and look at the sheer number of units he's produced.
Uh-oh, I'm feeling I'm feeling in trouble. It looks like, you know, after that last game, GameofDrones saying, no, it's no more time for fun. It's not playtime. Playtime is over. And now just getting up this huge Baneling bust that's going to be happening at the Protoss front. Unfortunately for our Protoss player, there's only one sentry out, and that means one force field means this whole wall's not coming. Here comes the Banelings rolling in. Nice force field, going to protect that pylon there, and now it's trying to chrono boost the second sentry out, and really GameofDrones needs to go now. You can't wait for more Banelings coming out. And there goes the gateway. Pylon's going to be going down, trying to get in, struggling. There comes the second sentry. Force field will be able to save this gateway from going down, but no, it doesn't even get the cancel on the gateway.
Oh my gosh, really could have done that perhaps a little bit better. Wasn't even able to breach the inside of the base. Only one cannon here to defend. He needs more sentries. All he needs is force fields to repel this attack.
No force fields.
And now he has nothing left. These Zerglings should just stream in towards the natural, not worry too much about this main because of the cannon that is attacking. 8 more Lings in production, a bunch more Lings also in production. These Lings just can't get past this force field, and the AI is forcing them up against that wall, and more force fields. So beautifully timed. And jayrawr is doing wonderfully, beautifully defending this.
Well, if you look at workers kill, we're up to 13 now, so Zerg is doing a good job. But really, look at the back of this. There's not that many workers. That's all he has. About 15 workers, 18 mining on one base. If he doesn't do nothing, he doesn't need a killing blow. And it looks like the sentry's actually stuck between cannons. Nice force field still going off here, blocking Zerg from entering. But now we have Zerglings in the main base, trying to warp in a Zealot here to tank. But really, there are a lot of Zerglings here. After that Zealot goes down, this whole probe line is going to be under attack. But actually going for some pylons instead. You know, why not?
Just the AI of those units not opting to attack a more important unit or building, and these probes are going to have to get away from that Baneling. Still many Lings inside of here, so it looks like GameofDrones still putting the pressure on, is making this work the best he can. Absolutely nothing in production for our Protoss player. 5 more Banelings in production.
In your
right
face,
a huge Baneling hit, taking out many probes and damaging severely the rest of them. And these probes are trying to mine from the natural, but has the damage been done?
This main base is basically done
no
for. Down to the pylon.
No production, GG.
There it goes. That's the only. Well, no, we have 3 Zealots over there, but there are a bunch of Banelings here, and those Banelings are going to do great against those Zealots. Zealots running into the probe line, actually running to the cannon where the sentries are. Banelings going in. Oh my God, the hit's going to be huge, and huge hit over there. Look at that probe fly.
These probes did escape certain death, but only just and now, but a few of them are mining. This is a very bad position for our Protoss player. He's in the hole almost half of the supply of his opponent, and really is going to find it very difficult to reproduce this economy and the army.
You know, Zerg was able to do that damage, so, you know, not all in at all. Because he was able to do that damage, he's able to catch up, no, not catch up, but push ahead in terms of work count and economy. Even now, finally grabbing that third base that he did cancel just to play some mind games with that Baneling bust over there.
jayrawr's finding himself in a very precarious position. This is not the best position that he wants to be in. Almost, I'm not sure if that is a full wall or not, but with the Banelings and Lings, he'll be hard-pressed to actually retain this position. He does also have those 2 sentries stuck in an unfortunate position in between the buildings as well. And it looks like GameofDrones is just happy to keep his units outside, wait a bit of time, bide his time, and get his Banelings up before he attacks.
Oh, he does see that. He does see the army moving out. Not moving out, but just waiting in that corner of this map right there. And you know, Plock's right. You know, if you don't skip the expansion cancel, you're gonna have a bad time. And this is definitely a bad time for our Protoss player. And you're right. You know, when behind Dark Shrine, he is getting that Twilight Council. Really needs to make something happen to take down the Zerg's economy. Zerg is basically being able to free, drone, and just tech up to exactly whatever he wants. We see the Spire going down for our Zerg player over here. The transition meter is going to be huge against our Protoss, who has just been hurting so much, spending all that money on sentries, spending all that money on Zealots, and just this defense of getting up his economy once again. Doesn't have enough money to make any sort of stalkers to defend at all.
These the danger that is represented by the Spire is really immeasurable. The mutas that will be able to be produced are going to be able to do massive amounts of damage, and here comes the Dark Shrine. Just as predicted, jayrawr does definitely feel in the hole, like he needs to make something happen, trying to exploit the slight deficits in detection that Zerg possess, even though Spore Crawlers are easily produced.
And the layer's already finished too.
And layer's already finished as well, so he will be able to get any more detection that he so desires. A couple Zealots coming in here to the third just to say, what's up, what's up? Do you got a third this time, or are you still playing with me? These Zealots actually are to come pretty much unchecked now. A few Lings are coming in to attack. A beautiful wall by the Zealots are able to defend, stand their ground, and now with these Banelings coming in, too many Banelings to count, and now unfortunately the Zealot will see the end of his days.
Now with this Dark Shrine, he does have a pylon over here, and that pylon was actually placed down very early up into the game, able to do that kind of harass. Do these Zerglings have vision? No, they do not. Haven't found the pylon just about now. Their friends are going to push them. It's like, hey, just go a little bit more forward, and now they have found it. 7 mutants in production, and this is really going to be the nail in the coffin for jayrawr, who's only sitting at 50 supply compared to the 105 supply of GameofDrones.
What will be important is what he does with the DT drops that he's planning on doing. How effective will they be? Of course, with mutas, drops are going to be extremely difficult as mutas attack both land and air. So even if he does get his DTs in the base, as soon as they're discovered, they're going to be wiped up very quickly, especially with the massive amount of income and supply that is in excess for GameofDrones.
Here comes the Warp Prism now, trying to be as sneaky as possible flying over the map, but I think the Zerglings have actually seen it, or maybe they haven't just yet. Oh, right, there we go. See a little bit of purple, pink moving across the map. Will he see it? Doesn't look like he really even cares. Now going for the kill. Only sentry defend from mutas. Not even possible. Not too many stalkers on him. Actually, not a single stalker on the map. He's really relying on these 3 GTs to do some damage, but really, you know, with his mutas having rain over his base, there's no mining going on in the main right now. Look at that natural. All the probes are going there. Where are these 3 DTs? They are loaded inside of this Warp Prism, and we'll see. Here it goes. The desperation drop from jayrawr is about to commence.
It's going to happen right inside of the main base of the Zerg. Will he be able to defend against this? Meanwhile, his base is being attacked. It might be a little bit of a base trade. These DTs are making very short work of all the units in this place, and more DTs are being brought in as well. Unfortunately, these are actually attacking Zerglings. They need to take out some key structures. Even more DTs are being warped in, but these mutas are attacking so much, and with so many more bases or structures produced by the Zerg, it looks like
GG!